Colin in Canada writes to me. He says, Paul, I have been using a streaming DAC directly into my monoblocks. And last weekend, I was at the Toronto Audio Fest and got a variety of different responses, I'll bet you did, regarding doing so. Some exhibitors maintain that the USB connection from a computer, like a Mac Mini, to good DACs has advanced to the state with galvanic isolation that eliminates the noise associated with the sources. Others maintain that using Ethernet is a much better choice. Some said I should use a preamp. Others said if the streaming DAC had a volume control, then no need. What am I to think? Well, isn't advice great? You know, it's also because everything you heard is kind of true. And you heard a lot of conflicting things. So let's take them one by one. As best Hi-Fi Grandpa, still love that, can remember. Okay, so personally, I prefer Ethernet or Wi-Fi to USB. That said, the reason I prefer it is because you have to do less to make it work, right? So let's go through that. With USB, you've got a noisy computer, your Mac Mini that you referred to. You've got a noisy computer, its ground is noisy, its signal, everything about it is noisy. I mean, you probably couldn't find a noisier environment than inside a computer, inside that Mac Mini. That is noisy as it could possibly be. Electrical noise, right? Ground noise, power supply noise. Everything wrong is in that Mac Mini. And now you're going to connect all that wrong stuff into your poor DAC that is going to be unhappy. Let's just put it that way, because it doesn't want all that noise on its ground, and that noise can contribute to jitter, can cause trouble. So if you're going to use USB, you want to use a USB isolator. There are galvanic isolators, you could use, oh gosh, any number of things. You know, at the studio, I use the, what's it called? The mini, the little mini guy. Oh, I can't, the Matrix, that's what it's called. Yeah, and so it's a cute little box. It's like $500. Does a good job, does a good job. If you're going Ethernet, you don't need the little box, right? Except you got to make sure that whatever you're using for your streamer somehow or other isolates your DAC from the noises inherent in either Ethernet or computers. So computers are more noisy, Ethernet still noisy, but better. And it really depends on if your DAC has a direct input or your streamer has an Ethernet input. Overall, you're going to be better off using that. But let's just imagine that your streamer with this Ethernet input doesn't do anything to isolate the noise of the streamer itself. Because remember, your streamer is essentially an SBC, a small board computer, right? And it isn't a Mac Mini, but it is a computer. It's a small, what you call them SOM, system on module. But it's essentially a Linux computer, and it's noisy. So regardless of how you get the signal into your streamer, and I've already described that process, you also need to make sure that streamer is galvanically isolated from the computer that makes the streamer work. So look for that. In our AirLens product, we provide that. That's one of the reasons why if you buy an AirLens from us, you can be assured that however you get the signal in doesn't really matter, because the output at the end of the day, that is what matters going into your DAC. So I hope that helps. Okay?